LG B5 versus Samsung S85F. One is a real OLED with true black levels. The other is a very good LED, pretending to play in the same league, and that gap shows up the second the lights go down. The tricky part is the room you'll put it in changes which one actually wins. If you watch movies at night and care about contrast and gaming feel, the LG pulls ahead. If your living room is bright, full of windows, and sports and daytime TV run all day, the Samsung makes more sense than people admit. Both linked below. So how do they actually look when the movie starts? Both panels hit that proper inky black OLED is famous for, and both pull real detail out of shadows without crushing dark scenes into mud. That part is a wash. Where they split is the personality of the LG B5 leans cinematic and accurate straight out of the box. Skin tones look like skin, not makeup, and the Alpha 8 processor cleans up streaming content nicely. Even messy cable feeds get a real lift. Filmmaker mode plus Dolby Vision is a combo that just works for movies, and that matters when half your watch list is on Apple TV Plus or Max in Dolby Vision. The Samsung S85F goes a different direction. Color Booster Pro pushes saturation harder. Blacks are deep, but a chunk of owners report them as too deep on regular TV content. Faces can look a little chalky on standard cable, and the AI picture mode tends to over-sharpen. You can calibrate it out, but you'll be in the menus. And here's the thing nobody talks about enough: no Dolby Vision. Samsung sticks to HDR10+. For Netflix and Prime, fine. For Disney Plus, Max, and Apple TV Plus, where Dolby Vision is the default, you're leaving picture quality on the table. For pure movie nights and streaming, the LG feels more natural without you touching a thing. Now, gaming. This is where both TVs actually flex. LG has been doing this longer, and it shows. 4 full HDMI 2.1 ports, 120Hz, VRR, G-Sync FreeSync Premium, and input lag measured around 9 milliseconds in Game Optimizer. That's basically as low as you'll see on a TV. The game dashboard is also genuinely useful, not marketing flop. Samsung covers the basics with a 120Hz native panel and the gaming hub for cloud titles, but the detailed VRR and HDMI 2.1 port story on the S85F is thinner than it should be at this price. If you're plugging in a PS5, a Series X, a PC, and a Switch 2, the LG gives you 4 ports that all do the same thing. No which HDMI is the good one lottery. For console and PC gamers, the B5 is the safer call. Straight up. Bright room performance, though. This is where the conversation flips. The B5 lands around 650 to 670 nits peak HDR. Plenty at night, underwhelming at noon with the blinds open. Reflections get distracting, HDR highlights lose their pop, and the automatic brightness limiter clamps down on full-screen bright scenes more than you'd like. There's a consistent thread in owner feedback about needing to close the blinds for HDR during the day. If your living room is south-facing with big windows, this one fights you. The Samsung pushes a bit harder on perceived brightness, and Color Booster Pro keeps colors from washing out under glare. It's still not a QLED bright panel, but in mixed light, it holds the image together better day to day. Not a knockout punch, just a meaningful edge if daytime sports and morning news are your routine. On the smart side, WebOS on the LG is quick. The Magic Remote is genuinely good for pointing and clicking, and apps load snappy. Tizen on the Samsung is slick and ties in with SmartThings if you already live in that ecosystem, but it pushes more ads on the home screen than most people want. Both get the job done. LG feels lighter. For built-in sound, the B5 surprises a bit on the low end, and WoW Orchestra lets it stack output with an LG soundbar instead of muting the TV speakers. The Samsung's object tracking sound light spreads dialogue well across the panel. Neither replaces a real soundbar, but you can live with either for a while. On design, both are slim, modern OLEDs with pedestal stands. Samsung's contour design has a bit more personality. The LG is more understated. Price and value. These sit in a similar range, with the LG usually landing a touch lower and seeing more frequent Amazon discounts, while the Samsung holds its price more steadily and tends to show up in retailer bundle deals. What you're paying for differs. The LG gives you more gaming muscle, Dolby Vision, and out-of-box accuracy. The Samsung gives you better bright room behavior, the SmartThings ecosystem, and Samsung's processing on upscaling. Picture per dollar tilts toward the LG, unless your room and habits specifically reward what Samsung is doing. Here's the call. For most of you watching, the LG B5. Better out-of-box accuracy, Dolby Vision, and a full gaming setup that doesn't make you guess which HDMI port to use. Picture per dollar, it's the better buy. If your living room is bright all day and sports and morning shows are the routine, the Samsung S85F genuinely makes more sense. And if you're already deep in SmartThings, Tizen ties it together cleanly. The LG tends to see more frequent Amazon discounts, so if you're patient, that's the one to watch. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments, both linked below.